So, the question that I want to ask you is, what scares you more? Failing at something new at 50 or waking up at 70 knowing you never even tried? Because, the women that I meet every day are dying a slow death, staying exactly where they are, convinced it's too late to change. Today, I'm proving them wrong. You've done everything right. You've built a strong career. You've led teams. You've navigated challenges. But lately, maybe there's a whisper that keeps surfacing. There's more for me, more purpose, more alignment, more fulfillment. But then comes that doubt. You're too established to change. You should be thinking about slowing down. Is it too late? At 52, I made a move that made people think I was out of my mind. I walked away from being the first woman CEO of United Way Detroit, a role that took me decades to earn. I walked away to start something brand new. No guaranteed salary, no job title, just an idea and a leap of faith. And you know what people said? Geneva, aren't you too old for this? 16 years later, at 68, I did it again. This time, I launched my own business. People are still asking me if I'm too old to do what I'm doing. Hmm. And I'm here to tell you the real question is not about age. The real question is, what story are you telling yourself about what's still possible? Today, I want to share the truth. No one tells you about making a career shift in midlife and why your age may exactly be your secret advantage. Because here's what I found: women over 50 are twice as likely to build successful businesses as women in their 20s. We're not falling behind. Let me tell you, we ain't falling behind. We are rewriting the playbook. Yes, we now make up 26% of all new entrepreneurs in America. And we're doing it on our own terms with more stability, more clarity, more purpose. I've coached hundreds of women through midlife transitions. I've raised over 120 million. And I'm telling you, those fears you're carrying, they're not facts, they're myths. So I want to bust a few of them. Myth number one: you need 20 years to build new expertise. False. You already got the expertise. You're sitting on decades of skills, wisdom, and relationships. You're not starting over, you're re-leveraging what you've already built. You're not just someone with experience, you're a strategist, a relationship builder, the glue in the room. It's time to own that. Myth number two that I hear often is that starting over means starting from zero. No, you're starting from value, from leadership, from experience that money can't buy. Myth number three: it's too risky to make a career change at this age. Myth, that one. Actually, you're more likely to succeed now than ever before. You've already made it through hard things. You've built resistance. You know how to pivot, lead, and make smart decisions under pressure. But here are the facts that back this up. 85% of midlife female entrepreneurs started their businesses after age 40. The success rate for these encore entrepreneurs reaches 70%, significantly higher than typical startup success rates. And, here's the real kicker. The average age of founders of the highest growth ventures is 45, not 25. When I launched that new organization I was telling you about at 52, I didn't start from scratch. I brought decades of coalition building, problem solving, and strategic vision with me. Your experience isn't a liability, it's your superpower. But here's what I really want you to hear. The women who come up to me 65, 70, 75, the ones with the deepest regret aren't the ones who tried something and it didn't work out perfectly. They're the ones who played it safe, who stayed in jobs that slowly drained their soul, who kept saying, maybe next year, until next year never came. Whether you're dealing with being passed over for promotions or supporting aging parents while helping adult kids, or just feeling invisible in rooms where you used to command attention, staying stuck costs more than starting fresh. Okay? I'm saying it now. So here are some reinvention readiness steps to kind of get you ready to make those moves. And these are the steps that I take every one of my clients through before a major career transition. Step number 1, audit your transferable value. You're sitting on a gold mine of skills and strengths, but if you don't see them, you can't sell them. When I left United Way, I had to identify my key assets. I could convene people who didn't usually talk to each other, navigate complex partnerships. I could do that. And I could secure money for some bold ideas. And those weren't just nonprofit skills, they were transferable leadership capital. Now, was I scared? Yes. Was I asking, who am I to do this? All the time. But I moved forward knowing exactly what I brought to the table and why it mattered, because I had taken the time to identify my value and be able to articulate it and say it, if to nobody else but myself, during those times where I was scared so much I'd be shaken and the anxiety and stress levels would be so high. One thing was, I knew what I brought to the table. Step number 2, in terms of your reinvention readiness, I want you to build your financial safety net. Now, this is the one that stops most women cold right in their tracks, because money fear will paralyze your momentum unless you plan ahead. Before I left my role, I did map out about 18 months of essential expenses, not because I expected to fail, but because I planned to succeed without desperation and stress. Now, I know some of you are thinking about your retirement savings. Perhaps you're supporting aging parents. Maybe you're helping adult kids. And you're thinking about those financial challenges or expenses. I understand it. That's exactly why you need to figure out your financial runway and what it looks like and prepare 18 months, 20 months, 24 months in advance so that you're making strategic moves, not desperate ones. Because security doesn't come from staying stuck. It comes from knowing you can leap strategically and that you've got it figured out and you've got this game plan and you see and understand your financial runway. Okay. Reinvention readiness step number 3. I want you to say it out loud. You can't shift in silence. You can't make those changes being quiet. When I started feeling like I needed something more when I was at United Way, even though I wasn't actively job hunting, I began talking to people I trusted, my mentors, my husband, my family. I said out loud, I want something more. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'm open. And that's when the opportunity started finding me. The people who eventually asked me to lead the new national model, they approached me because they'd heard through trusted circles that I might be ready for something different. That's the power of your reputation, your network that you already got, combined with honest conversation with people you trust. People can't invite you to opportunities they don't know you're open to receiving. Let me share with you the story about Patricia. She was 54, a former hospital administrator. Now, she was passed over twice without any real feedback. So she started to wonder if she'd become invisible, like her track record didn't even matter anymore. We use these reinvention readiness steps that I just shared with you. She audited her strengths. She built her safety net. She started saying out loud that she wanted to consult. Now, 18 months later, she's working with 3 major health systems. She's earning more than her old salary. And finally, she feels seen for what she brings to the table. That's what happens when you stop waiting for permission to reinvent and bust those myths that are out there and step forward. So if you're ready to stop asking what if and start asking what's next, I have created something just for you. I want you to download your free reinvention after 50 strategic action plan. It's not just a workbook I put together, it really helps you craft a personal roadmap for designing what's next. So, inside this, you'll get a process to really define success on your own terms, prompts to reflect on your strengths, your values, your lived experience, strategic steps to shift from stuck to forward momentum. There's some tools in there to help build clarity and confidence and purpose without starting over. So this guide connects directly to the reinvention readiness steps that I teach, and it will help you take that first bold step towards your next chapter. So I put the link in the description. There's a QR code. And for those of you who are watching live, we'll drop it in the chat right now. And again, this isn't just a workbook, it's your declaration that you refuse to shrink. Download it now, because every day you wait is another day you're letting someone else define what's possible for you. Hit subscribe for more midlife career insights, and just let me know. Drop me a note, DM in the comments. What's one skill or strength you've been undervaluing? Say it out loud. You know, I read every comment, and I'd love to help you see the power in what you already carry. So if you're 50 or 60 or 70, you got lots of years. You still got years ahead of you. And so you're going to age anyway. So the only question is, are you going to age into regret, or are you going to age into your power? The choice is yours, but the time is now.